Hello, I'm Salia Stremska and you're watching Break the Fake here on TVP World. Before we start, let me assure you that I'm just filling in for Ben and Jonas tonight, and the boys are coming back soon. Sometimes even they need a break. All right, so let's get into it. For starters, we have Vladimir Putin in his usual roundabout way, essentially confirming what many have suspected for some time. North Korean troops are probably present in Russia, possibly even on the front lines in Ukraine. Asked at a post-BRICS summit press conference about the images circulating of North Korean soldiers allegedly in Russia, Putin offered one of his classic non-denial answers. Quote, "Photos are a serious thing," he said. "If there are photos, they reflect something." In other words, if it looks like a North Korean soldier, it probably is a North Korean soldier. Brilliant.
Давайте начну с первой части вашего вопроса. Снимки, они вещь серьезная. Если есть снимки, значит, они что-то отражают. Хочу обратить ваше внимание на то, что не действия России привели к эскалации на Украине, а госпереворот 2014 года, поддержанный прежде всего Соединенными Штатами. Было даже публично объявлено, сколько денег администрация тогдашняя США истратила на подготовку и организацию этого госпереворота. Разве это не путь к эскалации? А затем нас в течение 8 лет обманывали, когда говорили о том, что все хотят разрешить конфликт на Украине мирными средствами путем Минских соглашений. Позднее, и вы наверняка тоже это слышали, ряд лидеров государств Европы прямо сказали, что они нас обманывали, потому что использовали это время для того, чтобы вооружить украинскую армию. Разве это не так? Это так. Теперь дальнейший шаг эскалации заключались в том, что западные страны начали активно вооружать киевский режим. До чего дело дошло? До прямого участия военнослужащих армий стран НАТО в этом конфликте. Потому что мы знаем, что и как делается при запуске беспилотных морских аппаратов в Черном море. Знаем, кто там присутствует, из каких европейских стран НАТО, и как они осуществляют эту работу. То же самое касается инструкторов, военнослужащих, не наемников.
And as if that wasn't enough, Putin went on to remind the world of the recently ratified strategic partnership between Russia and North Korea, conveniently noting that the leaders in Pyongyang take their arrangements very seriously. Of course they do, especially when it comes to sending thousands of their troops to prop up Russian military effort. According to a South Korean intelligence report, North Korea is preparing to send 12,000 troops to support Russia's war effort in Ukraine. It's almost as if Russia has run out of options. What does this say about the state of Russian army? Well, when your strategic partners include North Korea, it's clear that things aren't going according to plan. The Russian diplomatic circus is always entertaining, but recently Lavrov and Putin have been hitting new highs, or shall I say rather lows. Let's start with Lavrov, who in true statesman-like fashion graced the BRICS summit with his charm. Someone stepped on his foot, and the main horse of Russian diplomacy responded with a very colorful reaction. The words are not suitable for repetition. Yes, that's what you want from your top diplomat. Calm, composed, with just a hint of gangster. You really can't make this up.
Perverliği ve davetleri için değerli dostum Rusya Federasyonu Devlet Başkanı Sayın Vladimir Putin'e teşekkür ediyor. Başarılı ev sahipliği dolayısıyla.
But let's not leave Putin out of the fun. During the same summit, our dear bunker-bound leader was given the task of introducing Turkish President Erdogan. Simple enough, right? I mean, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Wrong. Putin, apparently caught in one of his frequent mental lapses, couldn't quite get his tongue around Erdogan's name. Is this an early onset of dementia, or just the latest in his long line of, quote, public speaking malfunctions? Either way, it's not a great look when you're trying to hold on to the reins of a crumbling empire.
Спасибо. Слово президенту Турецкой Республики господину Таипу Эрдогану. Реджепу Таипу Эрдогану.
And let's not forget about the Belarusian dictator Alexander Lukashenko, always ready to join the circus. In a heartwarming display, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres embraced him and thanked him for, quote, the gifts. Because, nothing says we stand for human rights quite like giving a hug to a man whose regime specializes in oppression and violence.
Пока они будут заходить, я тебе покажу. Это символ мира. Наши аисты. Нам, Антонио, очень нужен мир.
As for Turkey, India blocked their BRICS membership, citing Ankara's cozy relationship with countries that aren't exactly on India's Christmas card list. All in all, it seems like the circus, aka Russian diplomacy, is doing well, and we can't wait for more absurdity. Dmitry Medvedev once again proved that when it comes to diplomacy, manners and historical relevance are entirely optional. His recent outburst about Poland closing the Russian consulate in Poznan, calling it asking for trouble, is the kind of statesman-like behavior that only a country teetering on the edge of reason could produce. You've got to love the audacity. Shutting down a consulate somehow equals a threat of violence in Medvedev's book. But then he really went for the gold by reminding us all of the 1918 assassination of German ambassador Wilhelm von Mirbach in Moscow. Yes, you heard that right. He's comparing the closure of a diplomatic office to a century-old assassination. Because in Medvedev's world, that's just how things work. The logic here is impeccable. Poland, in defense of its sovereignty and security, makes a decision to curb Russian espionage, and Medvedev responds with, quote, remember when we killed that ambassador 100 years ago? Oh, charming. Truly the mark of a diplomatic genius. What's next? Will Medvedev start referencing medieval warfare tactics to justify Russia's behavior today? Perhaps he'll suggest dueling with Poland at dawn. At this point, nothing would surprise me. And now for the shocking news of the day. Lukashenko, through Kremlin's favorite propagandist and TV journalist Olga Skabeyeva, announced that he'll be running for president. Again. I know, try to contain your surprise. Ever since Lukashenko seized power, he's been organizing these sad, often bloody spectacles that he calls elections. And you know what? You don't have to be a psychic to know who's going to win these upcoming elections. I'm predicting around 80% of the vote for a certain mustachioed dictator. In Belarusian politics, it's easy to play fortune teller. And with this, we conclude Break the Fake. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.